Hello everyone, I'm back again to show you a new video. Today we're going to be learning user-defined functions. How about that? User-defined functions are functions created by users in order to accomplish tasks multiple times, in case you need to use it multiple times. It makes your code neat. And usually when you're looking for a certain code or snippet, from someone else or from the wiki, they try to make it in a neat way, so it's usually in a user-defined way. I have many examples of that on my wiki page, and I have yeah, yeah. I just got blanked out there for a second. I guess it happens to the best of us. Anyways, let's get started with this user-defined function. Okay. Now, the thing you need to know is user-defined functions have to be above the default state. They can be anywhere above it. They can be above variables or below them, above the default state, but they have to be above it. What is the default state, you might ask, since you're watching this video? This is the default state. And the perfect thing about this in-world LSL editor is you can hover over things like default and get what it's called. Name of default state that all scripts must have. All scripts must have the default state, is what it's basically saying right now. And then you can hover over events, and they give you event data. And then you can hover over functions, and it gives you function data. You know, it's great. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Let's get back to this function, shall we? Okay. So what we want to first do on the top, the first thing we're going to write is the return type. Now, if your function is not going to return any data, you do not put a return type. Simple as that. But for this example, we're going to return the squared of the number we input. So we're going to have a parameter of an integer. So let's make this, and it's going to return an integer. So we're going to do integer as the return type. Let's make a few spaces here so you can see it better. So integers are going to be the return type, and then we're going to need to make the function name. Let's call it x squared. Okay. Now let's open and close the parameter section, which is right here, with open and closed parentheses. And inside of it, we want to put the parameters we're going to be using. And we're only going to be using one, which is integer x. X is the variable we're going to be using. That means anything inside of our function is going to refer to that as x. Now let's open and close the function so we can work inside of it. Just like that. Let's get inside of here. Okay. Our first function that the first thing we're going to be doing, it's very simple. All we have to do is return x times itself. So we're going to do return x multiplied by x, and then end that with a semicolon, I want to say. Yeah. Okay. And then this function's done right here. So how are we going to output this? Let's go here in state entry. Let's do integer number equals, and then we're going to do x squared. Inside here, we're going to put 5. There we go. Now, inside the parentheses of this function, we put 5, and automatically that's going to be our first parameter right here, which is an integer x. So right now, 5 equals x, and then it does its dirty work here, which it's going to return 5 times 5. Now, number right now equals 25, since we know that this is 5. So we're just going to remove these quotes right here. Let's work inside of here. Let's put number. But you can't return an integer in a parameter that's supposed to be a string. So we're going to typecast this number to a string, just like that, and then save it. And when we save it, the output is 25, as you can see on the chat. Very simple, just like that. But let's go a little bit deeper. Functions that don't return anything, but just do an action. Now, if it does this, it's not going to return anything because there's no return type. In fact, we might get an error. So, what we're going to do is we're going to basically, let's see, we're going to do this. Integer number equals 5 times 5. So now a number equals x times x inside of here. And then we're going to do llSay string typecasted as number. Yeah, just like that. Now we can remove all this dirty stuff and we can just keep this. And we can use this all around. Yeah, let me format that better. There you go. So save it again. And it's going to do the same exact thing, 25. But now we can do this differently. We can put this down multiple times. 5, let's put 4, put 10. It's gonna say 3 entries now: 25, 16, 100. In these 3 lines, don't they look much cleaner than putting this 3 times? I mean, as an example, because functions are usually bigger and sloppier than just returning multiplication. But that's just an example. I hope you understand how to use functions now. Thanks for watching.